안녕하세요. 제6회 뉴스 글로벌 리더십 프로그램에서 리더십 부분을 강의하고자 하는 김문성 교수입니다. 여러분들이 각 나라에서 여러분들의 리더십 개발을 위해서 이 프로그램에 참여하고 있는 것을 환영하고 또 이 프로그램에서 강의를 맡게 된 것을 굉장히 영광으로 생각합니다. 제 강의를 통해서 또 이 프로그램을 통해서 여러분들에게 잠재된 이 역량들이 더욱더 개발이 되고 여러분들의 능력이 좀 더 성장하게 돼서 여러분들이 여러분 각 나라에서 훌륭한 인재가 되고 또 그런 능력을 통해서 여러분 나라의 발전에 또 세계의 발전에 영향을 끼쳐서 발전에 큰 몫을 할 수 있는 그런 인재로 자라나기를 바라는 마음으로 이번 강의를 맡게 됐습니다. 여러분 만나게 돼서 반갑습니다. The title I lecture to you today is the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Creativity and Leadership. Let me introduce to you myself. My name is Moonsung Kim, Emeritus Professor in Gachon University. First, we will talk about development of human economic activity. The first stage, hunting society, it's very, very long time ago from the birth of human beings. That times coexistence with nature. Next is agrarian society. There's development of irrigation techniques from establishment of settlement. And the third stage is industrial society. That's the invention of steam locomotive start from mass production. And the next is information society that started in the 20th century. Invention of computer start of distribution of information. And nowadays we call the society 5.0, and it's a super smart society. Next, we will review the history of industrial revolution. First, the industrial revolution was started in 1784. Steam engine, mechanized cotton spinning, and the second was widespread use of machinery, manufacturing, electrifications. And the third was the first computer-based controller, internet revolution. Nowadays, today, cyber physical systems, collaboration among value chain participants and through internet and network. The first industrial revolution began in England in 18th century when agricultural society became more industrialized and urbanized. It is one of the most distinguished turning points in human history. During this period, human and animal labor technology transformed in the machinery, such as steam engine. Industrial revolution increased the production and the consumption of common people. Steam engine had invented in Britain, and from there spread all over the world. The second industrial revolution occurred between the end of the 19th century and the first 2 decades of the 20th century, and brought major breakthroughs in the form of electricity distribution, the synthesis of ammonia, and the new forms of power generation. The third industrial revolution began in the 1950s with the development of digital systems, communication, and the rapid advance in computing power, which have enabled new ways of generating, processing, and sharing information. Now we stand on the brink of the technological revolutions that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another in its scale, scope, and the complexity. The transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. Along with the latest technology discoveries, for example, drones, robots, artificial intelligence, self-driving car, increasingly connected physical and computational elements are collaborating through the internet and the network and create the cyber physical systems. Systems work autonomously in the real-time environment using internet and the networks, and they can replace human resources. We can see technologies of the fourth industrial revolution: the drone, self-driving car, and robot. And this is a quantum computer. Current computers manipulate the individual bits, which store information as a binary 0 and 1 status. Quantum computers leverage quantum mechanical phenomena to manipulate the information. To do this, they rely on qubits. Qubits are different bits, very different. Quantum computer can support the development of new breakthroughs in science, medication to save lives, machine learning methods to diagnose illness sooner, and algorithm to quickly direct resources. The fourth industrial revolution built on the third industrial revolution, which entailed the proliferation of computers and the automation of record keeping. But new wave of the transformation differ from its procedures in a few key ways. First, innovations can be developed and diffused faster than ever. Second, these global revolutions will affect all countries. The fourth industrial revolution has the potential to empower individual and the community as it creates new opportunities for economic, social, and personal development. But it also could lead to the marginalization of some groups, exacerbate inequality, create new security risks, and undermine human relations. We need to develop leadership with the skill to manage organization against these dramatic shifts. We need to realize that what occurred present jobs might be dramatically different in the not too distant future. Our education needs to adapt to better prepare people for creative thinking capability that will need in the future workplace. So we must be proactive in shaping those technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. Be proactive. This requires creative view of how technology is shaping and reshaping our economic, social, cultural, and individual lives. Today, I will explain two critical sources for preparation of rapid changing world. These are the misspellings. Not creation, the creativity and the leadership. Then, what is creativity? Creativity is the turning new and the imaginative idea into realities. Creativity is characterized by the ability to perceive the world in a new ways, to find the hidden patterns, to make a connection between seemingly unrelated phenomena, and to generate solutions. Creativity involves two processes, thinking and producing. Primary components of creativity are originality and functionality. Originality means the idea should be something new that is not simply an extension of something else that already exists. Functionality means the idea needs to actually work or possesses some degree of the usefulness. What does it take to be creative? Creative people tend to have a variety of traits. Some of these key traits include energy, intelligence, discipline, Okay. Energy means creative people tend to possess a great deal of both physical and mental energy. They also tend to spend a great deal of time quietly thinking and reflecting. Intelligence, let's see intelligence. Researchers found that while high IQ was necessary for creativity, not all people with the high IQs are creative. Creative people must be capable of looking at things in a fresh ways. And then disciplines. Creative people are disciplined in the pursuit of their work and the passions. Then, ways to develop your creativity. If you ever want to boost your creativity, these tips can help. Commit yourself to develop your creativity. The first step is to fully devote yourself to developing your creativity abilities. Do not put off your efforts, set goals, and put time aside each day to develop your skill. Next, become an expert. One of the best way to develop creativity is to become expert in that area. By having rich understanding of the topic, you will be better able to think of a novel or innovative solution to problems. Reward your curiosity. Reward yourself when you are curious about something. Give yourself the opportunity to explore new topics. While rewarding yourself is important, it is also important to develop intrinsic motivation. Sometimes the true reward of creativity is the process itself, not the product. Be willing to take risk when it comes to building your creative skills. You need to be willing to take a risk in order to advance your abilities. While your effort may not lead to success every time, build your confidence. Insecurity in your ability can suppress in creativity, which is why it is important to build confidence. Make note of the progress you have made. Next, overcome negative attitude that block creativity. Positive mood can increase your ability to think creatively. If you are doing something that requires you be creative, you must be in the place of a good mood. The next is fight your fear of the failure. The fear that you might make a mistake or fail in your efforts can paralyze your progress. Remind yourself that mistakes are simply part of the process. While you may occasionally stumble on your path to creativity, you will eventually reach your goals. Next theme is leadership. First, what is leadership? There are many ways to finish the sentence. Leadership is. Defining leadership has its complex and elusive problems, largely because the nature of leadership itself is complex. Leadership is a complex phenomenon involving the leader, the followers, and the situation affect the way a leader acts. The best way for you to understand the complexity of leadership is to see some of the way leadership has been defined. Leadership researchers has defined the leadership in many different ways as follows. The process by which an agent induces a subordinate to behave a desired manner. Directing and coordinating the work of the group members. An interpersonal relation in which others comply because they want to do, not because they have to do. The process of influencing an organized group toward accomplishing its goal. The end of the leadership involves getting results through others. The means of leadership involves the ability to build cohesive, goal-oriented teams. An interpersonal relation in which others comply because they want to do, not because they have to do, is a very important definition. Next, I'd like to emphasize leader is not boss. A boss is someone who has the power over others. The power is a word which is a physical meaning of the control of people. But leader is someone who has authorities. The authority is a word which is a psychological meaning of willingness to follow. Those who know how to lead don't force others to help them achieve goals. They persuade, inspire, and motivate. Leaders are successful because those who follow actually want to do. Leadership is action, not position. Leadership involves influence. It occurs among people. Those people intentionally desire significant change. Leadership is an influence relationship among leader and the follower who intend the real change that reflect their shared purposes. The reality for today's organizations, lack of leadership for fourth industrial revolution. The nation called for leadership, but there is no one home. Even though not no one, very few one on home. Effective teams are never led by dictators or autocrats. Leadership is developed through education and experience. Learning about leadership can be helpful in making your own on-the-job experiences. Leadership is there in you. This is the last sentence I emphasize to you today. By developing leadership, you can acquire competence in you. Acquiring personal leadership competence, you can draw out your latent leadership. I repeat, acquiring personal leadership, leadership competence. You can draw out your latent leadership. The most dangerous leadership myth is that leaders are born. Leaders are made, let them born. I do believe there are people incapable of becoming effective leaders. But I believe the percentage is less than 10%. I hope everyone in this class is to be a creative leader who will change your country as one of the world's most competitive nations. Thank you. 여러분, 이 강의 듣느라고 수고가 많았습니다. 내가 이게 마음이 벅차서 여러분들에게 더 많은 것을 가르치고자 했다가 너무 빠르게 좀 진행이 된 것 같은 느낌입니다. 그런 내 마음은 더 많은 것을 여러분들에게 빠르게 전달하고 싶은 그런 욕망에서 그렇게 됐다고 생각합니다. 제가 굉장히 요약을 해서 강의를 했기 때문에 사실은 이것보다 5배, 6배 더 많은 내용을 좀 천천히 자세하게 가르쳤다면은 여러분들이 더 이 내용에 대해서 대단히 좀 이해를 잘하게 되고 그런 것들이 여러분 영향에 큰 영향을 미치리라고 생각합니다. 사실은 대학에서는 이것을 1년 동안 가르치는 그런 내용인데 그걸 이렇게 22분 만에 마치게 됐으니까 너무 좀 생략이 됐다고 생각합니다. 여러분 중에서 그러나 관심 있는 사람들은 내가 준 이 내용들을 찬찬히 잘 읽어보시고 또 더 관심 있는 사람들은 관련된 책들을 통해서 여러분들의 창의성과 리더십을 키워나가길 바랍니다. 내가 말했듯이 leadership is there in you 라는 센텐스를 여러분들 마음에 꼭 새겨주기를 바랍니다. 누구에게나 이 리더십을 키워야 되는 잠재력이 다 있어서 자기가 노력을 하면은 우리가 근육을 키우듯이 여러분들의 창의성과 리더십을 키울 수 있고, 이런 인재야말로 4차 산업사회는 새롭게 변화되고 있는 오늘 시대가 요구하는 인재가 될 수 있을 겁니다. 여러분들의 역량에 많은 성장이 있기를 바라면서 마지막으로 여러분께 인사를 드리고자 합니다. 감사합니다.